Good morning, guys. It's day 2 after Pinks. Let's have a little TED talk. Encountered a few issues while racing. Definitely cost me a race. Still tried. We're doing what we can. So, everybody knows I do have the car. God damn, the thing's bright. Got the car. I have an opportunity to do this again. Like, what I mean by is to improve on the car. So, I need a transmission. I need a builder. I need a company that has something that can be leaned on. And the reason I'm here, it's hard to ask for stuff. I'm not looking for free, but I do feel that, for the right person, for the right company, if there's an upstart, somebody who's confident in their abilities. Right now, I feel like I could really campaign for somebody, and I don't know if anybody else knows this, but I'm a gracious person. So people that help me out, I go out of my way for it. Anybody that donated, each and every one of you that gave, whether it's time, views, whatever. I mean, we made a banner, thanking you, because we can't do it without you, because we have our professional lives, which revolve around the shop, and all the racing is on the side. I want to make more content. I want to make better content. I've already talked to a couple of the guys from the show, and I'd like to think that we've all become friends because we kind of just went through some shit together. We didn't do it together per se, but we did it together. I mean, we were in the same time frame, same crunch. Regardless, we all went through some stress. All my stresses were the day of the show. We had others that had failures right before the show, like major failures. So if you guys know anybody, if you have dealt with a company before, I need advice. I currently have in my Camaro in Cosby, I have a Rossler. It's a Terminator 2.5. I just had it freshened up because we got a new converter from Circle D coming, which I'm a vendor for. We had, I'm looking at options with FTI. I've got a friend that works there. Don't really want to use that as the stepping stone because I don't want anybody to think that I'm going to misrepresent them and mess up their career, their job. If there's a private builder, that will work with me, and then we can kind of go together. I'm not, like I said, I'm not looking for free, but you kind of have to use this opportunity to campaign and see if we can make something bigger out of this. I have a very unique combination that stands out. It seems to work very well, but in its current state, I can't tell if it's a transmission or a converter that has, kind of led me to this. I have a stock case Turbo 400 in the car now that has, upgraded clutches, stuff like that. It's got a billet trans brake. We don't even know what brand it is. We just know that it worked. I do know that I click second gear and the car gets to like 7,000 RPM immediately. When the show comes out, I'll see if I can post some videos. You can't even tell that I shift. It literally sounds like a CVT. The whole inside of the car has a pulse to it. Click into third, same thing. It's just doing it, and it's no fault on anybody except for me because I didn't get the car done, in the allotted amount of time. I should have signed up for this sooner. Then we could have researched. We really could have worked with Boss Hog on it to actually get the converter right. But I want to travel. I've talked, like I said, I've talked to 2 of the racers. One's in Texas, somebody that I raced. I can learn a lot from. We have to learn from the people that do greater things than us. Then my spirit animal would be Zach Beasley. He's a great guy to be around. His whole team's awesome. It kind of reminds me of our team, except for they've been doing no prep and YouTube a lot better and a lot longer. So I want to make some trips to Louisiana. They have some shootouts down there. I want to take the Lexus. I'll keep the Camaro as a prep surface car, even though it was made for no prep. I really just don't want to strip this car. The Lexus is going under the knife more. It's going to get more extreme. A couple things that I would be looking for. If anybody has an LS swap K member for an S197, looking for that. Camber plates for a Fox body, looking for that. I don't see that I need a lot of front travel because of the way that IRS, actually squats and leaves. But it'll lighten up the front. I could put a Mustang rack in it. I can do a lot of different things. There's a lot more options for Mustang parts. I'll put long travel on it from a Fox body, from an S197, whatever I have to. But We can do more. We can do way more. I draggied, and like my test hit was a 131 60 foot. First time I did one burnout on brand new CO7 tires, and it's the first leave, and it was on the DA was really low that night, and I was really impressed with it. So I know we can have more. I want to leave on 15 to 18, and then I think it'll really be something. But my scramble, I don't know if I should say this, but the motor combination that we have now held up fantastic. My radiator cap, not so much, my fault. It's just a little tiny cap. If you have a Mishimoto like import radiator, they have a little tiny, like a 2-inch diameter cap. That I'm gonna do away with. It's only 19 pounds. It can't handle the stresses of what we're doing. Car did get hot. Car runs fantastic. Car does not have a blown head gasket. The only other way I'm gonna check, I'll put it on the dyno. I'll see if Travis will let me put it on the dyno, and then we'll actually do a stress test that way. But cooling system goes in the trunk, or at least gets upgraded. I'm stuck. Weight in the back would be better, and I think it would help with the leave. So I want to push this forward. I want to go further, and I don't know. Look, okay. I'm vain about this. I'm not vain about me. Whatever. I love this car. Love this car. I spent so much time and effort, and so many others. I got to get away. I've got that hood's blinding the shit out of me. But God, it's not any better. But I spent so much time trying to make it better and trying to make it prettier, and it's a full weight car, nice interior. But with the Lexus now, I like this little final form that we're transferring it to. It seems to make sense. Even previous owners, even Josh and his wife Kelly. Kelly she didn't have a problem with the car, but she wasn't a fan of the car, if that makes sense. You know, they've shown interest in the car. And I told them that as long as I own the car, I was like, they don't have to buy it back. They can, you know, if Josh has an event he wants to go to, he's just got to pay for upkeep and a tire. So, but I like this. I like having something this bougie and clean and whatever. And I'm hoping my new parts for it, you know, help do what I want it to. But the Lexus is going to be a workhorse. The Lexus is going to be all over the internet because it's different. It's very rare that you see one out and about. And I've already, like the first time I took it out to Streetcar Bragging Rights, I got a small interview and from that track channel, which I wish we could have continued that because it could have been fantastic, especially right before Pinks. But at the time I didn't know I was doing it because, you know, why not just jump into it? I hate saying and I apologize for that. But I get more attention in a Lexus. I get more questions and more. I've had kids come up to me and want to know about the car. And the Camaro was just a pretty Camaro. You know, they don't think much of it because I guess maybe I made it look too good. But whenever I race, you know, people are like, "Wow, I was surprised by that." But the Lexus, it's I don't want to say it's more of an attention seeker because people just look at it and they're like, they see this crazy looking turbo kit. You know, they see the tube front on it, and it's just a long wheelbase car that seems to work well. But if you guys know anybody, any private builders, any companies, let me know. I'll see if I can put something together and try to campaign for this. Like I said, I need to reiterate this. I'm not asking for free. I understand, you know, somebody's time, a business, you know, a big business, small business, we all have to work for money. What I want to do is I want to help. I want to help where I can. Maybe there's a market you haven't hit on. Maybe there's an opportunity that you've missed. Maybe there's some events that you wish that you could be in, but you're busy. But then maybe I can be the guy. You know, we go out there, campaign, do our thing. So kind of grease the wheels here. You know, kind of like let everybody eat. Just let me know. Feedback helps. I like the interaction. It also helps the algorithms. So see if you can help. If you know anybody looking, I'll be that guy. You know, the car's like mid 1200 horsepower right now, and I think the trans and the converter just are not ready. Like I said, Nelson with Boss Hog. Now that I have some stuff, I can at least send him some data. We can at least help him improve on that. But I also made a bunch of changes after I told him what I was making. You know, what I did weigh. It's going to keep changing. I'm going to cut where I can. I'm going to remove where I can. I'm going to relocate what I can. Help me help you. God, it sounds so cheesy. I'm sorry. Just, if you hear of somebody looking, I'll be the guy. We have a whole group of guys that can do it too. So, yep, let me know. Keep me posted. Stay tuned. I think we're going to start doing like little talks here and there. We won't talk too much on the pink stuff. The episode is the episode. There's plenty of rumors and speculation. Y'all can have it, that shit, because all you're doing is making it better. I mean, I got home from Pink's, and at 11 o'clock at night, I'm sitting here on Jimmy Dale's little podcast, you know, as he's having his court session, trying to bury somebody, which isn't right, because nobody from the show did anything wrong. But let's do something cool. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.